MT. What made you decide to get into finance? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could have gotten into any type of field. What made you decide that finance was what you wanted to get into?
Okay. It's kind of like, I was kind of finding myself. And I remember one day I was at work and an older gentleman, he was on the crux of retirement. Okay. And this gentleman was about to retire and he didn't have any savings. Okay. So he sat me down and he was like, "Hey, Skylar, don't be like me. All right. You need to start investing your money, start thinking about 401k while you're 18 or 19 years old and start thinking about your future." Okay. So I took that information from this older gentleman and I essentially ran with it. Okay. Once I started looking at my 401k, then I started investing or thinking about mutual funds and stocks and bonds, and I became interested in it. And then I started listening to people like Dave Ramsey, started reading books like The Common Sense on Mutual Funds by The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, the Tower of Warren Buffett. And then I just became good at it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just filled with finance, and then, you know, people started coming asking for help. And then I decided, you know what, let's make this official. And now I was going to go get a degree in computer science. I switched my major and decided to go with finance. And I literally, not to be, you know, to toot my own horn, but I literally breezed through the degree. It was so easy. So some people just have things, and finance just happened to be mine.
Now, Skylar, let's talk about this, because you mentor a lot of people. I've watched several of your videos. I've been binge watching, bro, because you got some good content. I just wish you would do more. I'm gonna keep it real. What do you think is the biggest pitfall when it comes to people in regards to making money or saving money, particularly Black men, from what you have noticed? So what I mean by that question is, why don't brothers have the certain funds to travel or live their ideal life?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, I think Black men in America, they have the funds, they have the means, but they don't have the education. That's where we're falling at. The people don't have the education, because I could have been. There's a lot of people. I make good money, okay, and I know a lot of brothers that make good money, but the money is going in the account and right out, living paycheck to paycheck. That education piece is not there. Not enough brothers are learning how to manage their money, because we are very short-sighted as a people. We're very short-sighted. Buy. We're consumers. Okay. So we need to turn down the consumerism just a tad bit and put money in for ourselves. Pay yourself first. That's the rule number one. Pay yourself first. So when you get paid, automatic allotment to your savings account or a mutual fund, and then, you know, hey, now I can go out and have some fun. It's all about priorities. Our priorities are out of whack. And that's why me and you are on this channel right now trying to get our priorities straight.
Now, Master Teacher, I don't know. You know, I'm not a financial advisor or guru, and I let these brothers know that. And by the way, his link is in the description. We got a lot of brothers here that, let me read the super chats, because we got some of these brothers here who already subscribe to you. So let me shout them out, so that way when they come over to your channel, you can rep them. Admin24 says you get paid dividends with NEO with GAS. NEO is a cryptocurrency. So he says you get paid like that. I don't think I have NEO personally, but I have heard of NEO. And I've actually talked.
Where did the dividends come from? I said, I want to know if you can see dividends come from, because when you have a currency, in order for a stock to produce a dividend, the company has to produce a profit. That's where dividends come from. When Apple says they want to distribute dividends to all, they're deciding, hey, we made 80 million this quarter, just throwing it out there. So instead of paying taxes on this 80 million, we're going to distribute it out to our shareholders. And it's going to be an incentive for us to make our stock more attractive. Where's that money coming from when these cryptocurrencies produce dividends? That's my question.
Okay. Well, Edbin, you can type that out, but I'll continue to read the other super chats. We got brother Jay
Okay.
Wizzle in the building. He says, "Thank you for the much needed information." Exactly. Listen, guys, I was sleeping on this brother. I'm not gonna lie. Brothers were like, "Solos, check this guy out. Check this guy out." And I'm like, okay. Finally, I checked this dude out, and I'm like, yo, I think I talked to this dude already. And then so I went back, and I want to say publicly, not just for show, Master Teacher, but you could have been angry, you could have brushed me off, but you were a cool dude. You were like, yo, I'm down for whatever solo. I've been waiting, I'm ready, and he has been ready. So shout out to him, because he's been putting out some good content, and I've been binging on his content all day, and for the last 2 or 3 days actually. Dehan219 says, "I just subscribed to you this morning, MT. Afro-Hispanic. I travel a lot to Central and South America." Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a moment as well. A lot of people are saying that you look like TIP. Do you get that a lot?
I've never heard that. I never heard that at all. That's the first of it. Just for the record for you guys, I'm 33 years old. Okay? And for you younger cats, just real quick, I'm just punching it in. For you younger cats that's listening to solo, you need to start thinking about investing now. Okay? You need to start thinking about investing now, tomorrow. And get with me, and we can help you get into that position to secure your financial future so you can do all and go to all these places that we're talking about, that we're going to discuss, because it's going to get crazy.
Facts. 24 says the profits come from fees paid for the rights to use the Neo blockchain. Okay, see, now that's something I do agree with. Now, a lot of people may disagree, but the blockchain technology, right, Skylar, if you look at it, I mean, blockchain is an innovative technology that allows for more secure transactions. I mean, as a financial advisor, wouldn't you want that?
I mean, it's all about, as a financial investor, as an investor in general, I tell everyone money is something you don't understand. Okay, so if you are studying blockchain and you feel comfortable investing in blockchain or cryptocurrency and buying and trading, you become a subject matter expert, then by all means pursue that. I'm not for or against it. I'm just saying that it's not in my investment strategy. My investment strategy is very, very simple, not complex at all like blockchain. It's very simple. So I'm a very simplistic investor. And over time, okay, like I said, I have a video here. I've made over 100 in mutual funds. So whenever these guys make over $100,000, they can come talk to me.
So I got a 401k, mutual funds, stocks, all of that. What brothers are wondering, what should I invest in? What do you think about penny stocks? What would you recommend somebody to invest in? Period.
This is what I recommend this people invest in. It's very, very simple. If you are someone who is starting out as an investor, you're 18, 19 years old, or you got a good paying job and you have extra money on the side, where is an S&P 500 index fund. That's where you want to start. You can go to Vanguard.com and start a S&P 500 index fund. I think the ticker symbol for one of them is VFINX. Very, very simple. Look at the 10-year returns on it. It tracks the S&P 500 index. Now, with that, you have two options on how to get in. You can either pay $3,000 minimum investment for a mutual fund, or you can get an ETF, exchange traded fund, which the difference between the two is the exchange traded fund trades on the market daily. A mutual fund trades once a day when the stock market closes. It's very simple.
Okay. Now, quick question, quick sidebar here, Skylar. The stock market has gone down considerably the last few days. Is this now the best time to buy if you ain't got a lot of bread, or what's your take on what's happened with the stock market the last few days from what you've seen? Because I know you pay attention.
Okay. I do pay attention. So now people are flustered with the stock market dust up. That's what we call it. All right. So the reason why the stock, we got to when we see a stock market crash or a stock market dip in the Dow and all that stuff, we have to ask the question why. Why did it dip? The reason why it dipped is because the Fed has been raising interest rates. You know, they raise interest rates twice in a month. Okay, so when the Fed raises interest rates, now we have loans, like the government-backed loans and whatnot. They come with a higher interest rate, which means when coming to grow their business, now they have to borrow at a higher interest rate, which now increases the risk of the investment in the company. That's all this is about. It's a small dust up. So these companies, basically, it's costing them more money to borrow. It's costing them more to borrow money, which is increasing the risk of that particular company. So it's just a spook.
You know, it's funny, Skylar. We got people, some agreeing with you in the chat, some disagreeing. But Skylar says, if you got 100K, then talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, Skylar,
real quick, everyone in the chat,
talk about that for a second. What is the best way for a brother to get out of debt? Now, let's say I'm going to be real conservative. Let's say I got 10 grand in debt. What's the fastest way for me to get out of that debt?
Well, we can talk about what are your debts. So if your debts,
okay, let me.
You have a couple of credit cards in a car. What you want to do is, and what I follow is Dave Ramsey. I preach Dave Ramsey's philosophy, his snowball effect. You want to pay off your smallest debts first. You know, finance is 80% head knowledge and 20% financial. You want to get those small wins in by debts. Even if you have, debts that have a higher interest rate, ones first. It's very, very simple.
Okay, and your take on 401ks? I work for a company. They have a matching 401k up to 5%. They match that. I have that as well. Are you a fan of 401k, yay or nay?
401ks, but you have to understand how the 401k came about. Do you understand? So the 401k came about as companies in the 50s and 60s transitioned away from giving pensions. So they stopped giving pensions and they're like, hey, now you're going to start funding your own pension. So if you have a company that is offering you a 401k and they're giving you a 5% match and so on and so forth, take advantage of it. Now, which 401k are you going to get? Are you going to get the traditional or are you going to get the Roth? That depends on your investment strategy. Me personally, I prefer the Roth because your money grows tax-free. But with the Roth, you can only put in a certain amount a year. So it's a give and a take. So and also 401ks were invented and positioned for people who are not good at managing their own money. Okay, so me personally, I have like $80,000 in my 401k. I don't really contribute to my 401k as much because I know how to manage my money. I usually put most of my money in non-brokerage accounts, which I can withdraw from without getting penalized. But that's just me. But as for the average person, yes,